Hey everyone, it's your girl Dr. Tay here, and welcome to December 1st. Now, if you've been following along with me, you know that December 1st is always the start of my 12/12 birthday countdown. And so this year is going to be no different. And so I've decided to focus on my 12 essentials in my toolkit. Now, just to be clear, I'm not talking about an actual toolkit, like a physical one. This is more so of different attitudes, mindsets, skills, or talents that I feel have been so instrumental to me and my growth and development throughout the years. And so my hope is that you will be inspired to develop your own toolkit as I share the different essentials within mine each day. And so with that said, today's essential tool is something that was sort of inspired by a podcast I did a couple of weeks ago with the Black Neo Prophet. Shout out to him, and thank you for having me on your podcast. But one of the things that I talked about in that episode was how important it was to live with intention. And so that's something that I'm going to focus on for this first day of the 12/12 countdown. Now, what does it mean to live with intention? Well, exactly what it sounds like. Having some kind of purpose, having a goal, something that's sort of guiding us along the way. And so one of the things that I found so crucial about living with intention is that we need to have some kind of roadmap. And in order for us to sort of move forward in a way that makes sense to us and our needs and our development, we have to be able to sit down and determine what that roadmap will be. Now, here's what I've learned about living with intention. It can be such an empowering experience because we're making our own decisions, deciding where we want to go and how we want to get there. And with that comes that sense of authorship and connection and fulfillment to the life that we're creating for ourselves. However, on the flip side, there's a certain amount of accountability that also comes with it too. We can no longer place blame on the outside world for our circumstances. We have to accept that we created the scenario around us because we took those actions. And so because of that, I feel like not many people choose the life of living with intention because they don't necessarily want to take accountability for themselves. Now, while the accountability piece may seem discouraging, I have found that the alternative is no better when we're living unconsciously. And that's how we end up having health issues or being in situations that we are not comfortable in, or staying stuck in jobs that no longer serve us, or even holding on to certain relationships that are just draining us. It's like when we decide to live unconsciously and just allow the outside world to make decisions for us, we lose ourselves in that process. Living with intention doesn't necessarily mean we have to have a 5 or 10-year plan. It can literally be just waking up that day and deciding, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to accomplish, this is where I want to go, and then taking the appropriate steps to get there. And so I've learned that when I am in situations where I'm unsure about myself or unsure about where I'm trying to go, just sort of taking that moment to reflect on those 3 questions can be so instrumental. And an example of me living with intention that comes to mind is when I decided to earn my doctorate. Now, this is something that I had planned to do. I knew it was something that I wanted to accomplish at some point, and I had to make sure that I set myself up to do the right things. And so that included reaching out to mentors about the type of programs that I should be looking for, and making sure that I was in the right place financially and even emotionally to be able to take on this huge responsibility, and then making sure that my employer would be able to support me as well. And so that required me to do some planning and some thinking, even to the point of I applied to one program and got into that one program for graduate school. I didn't apply anywhere else because I knew that that's the one that I wanted because of all of the different features that it offered. And I was able to make that happen because of the intentionality that went into my planning. right? And so as you think about where you want to go in life or what your next step is, take a moment and ask yourself one of those 3 questions. What do I need to do? Where do I want to go? What am I trying to accomplish? And see where it takes you, okay? So thank you so much for listening to day 1 of my 12-12 countdown. I will see you tomorrow for day 2, all right? Thanks.